Most people get life insurance through their jobs and they think that's all they need because they don't understand the advantages and disadvantages. And if that's you, this video is specifically going to be for you. My name is Chris Cobb and I have been in the life insurance and financial services industry for over 5 years. And I'm the CEO of Chosen Agency. So if you're someone who likes hearing more about faith, finance, entrepreneurship, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, smash the thumb button, and let's go. If you're employed right now, you know it's what we call open enrollment season. So your employer may be offering you a chance to qualify for benefits. You may be applying for life insurance, health, dental, all those different benefits. And the question we get asked the most is, well, Chris, if I have life insurance through my job, is it necessary for me to actually get life insurance outside of that? And the answer is not one size fits all. I can't tell you yes and no, but what I am going to do is explain the advantages and the disadvantages of how they both work. Let's dive right into it. First off, I will start off by saying this. If your employer is actually offering life insurance, you should consider it because typically this is going to be either free or super affordable. So if it's going to be free or affordable, why not consider it? Why not take it? So the first factor that we want to discuss is something called underwriting. And the way underwriting works is, do you simply qualify? And with group employer life insurance, typically you always qualify. There's no stipulations on whether you can or you can't get it. Now with a personal policy, the difference is, yes, you do have to qualify. So if you're a certain age, maybe you had some health challenges in the past, it could eliminate you from getting life insurance. So the beauty of having a group employer plan is that you don't have to go through underwriting and you pretty much already passed the test and you qualify for it. The second thing is this thing called premium. And premium is just the price that you pay in order to have your life insurance. And one of the beautiful parts about having it with your job is that they can automatically deduct the money from your paycheck before you get it. So you don't even see the money going away, but you're still having your life insurance. And now the difference with a personal policy is you do have to pay for it out of pocket. It is money that you did have possession of at some point, and now you're watching it go away to an insurance company. So if your mind is not good on budgeting and you don't understand it, that may be a disadvantage because you're not used to seeing that money go. The third thing you want to consider is coverage. So you're only covered when you're at the job. If you have life insurance with your job and you decide to, let's say, retire, well, you're no longer covered. And the beautiful thing about having a personal insurance policy, whether you retire, whether you switch jobs, no matter what the situation may be, you own the policy independent of the job. So you always are covered no matter what. The fourth thing that we're discussing today is price. And we touched on this earlier. Most companies, they're offering life insurance for free or it's super affordable. It may be like $10 a month. Now, as opposed to getting your own personal policy, that's based on your age, your health. So there's a lot of factors that could change the price. And depending on your situation, it could be super affordable or it could be super expensive. It's just case by case scenarios. Number 5 is something called portability. And what does that mean is, can I take it with me if I decide to go? And the answer is no. So if you're insured with your company, in most cases, like 99% of the time, when you decide to quit, you resign, you retire, no matter what the case is, you don't get a chance to say, I want to take my policy with me, paying only $10 a month. You have to start over from scratch with your new employer, or you have to go get your own personal policy. And that's why we like everyone having their own personal policy independent of their job, because if you decide to switch jobs, if life changes, you retire, now you have this asset that you started building independent of your job. So no matter what happens in your work career, you're always covered and there's never a gap in insurance and you never have to reapply once you lock it in. Number 6, this is options and features. So life insurance has these things called riders, and what riders does, they're used to enhance your policy. And with your job, they don't include any riders. So it's just insurance, just enough to bury you. You pass away, your family gets the money. Now with a personal policy, you can add significant amount of riders. You may have a child rider, so your kids can be covered on your life insurance. You can have accelerated death benefits, like if you were to get cancer, have a heart attack, a stroke, the life insurance will pay for those things. You have guaranteed income where it's gonna pay you money till the day that you die. Life insurance with your employer doesn't offer any options, benefits, or riders. Versus having your own personal policy, there's multiple uses of what you can use it. It's not just something for when you pass away, but it's life insurance. You're actually supposed to use it while you're still living, and that's what personal plans let you do. So the last and most important part is called face amount. This is number 7. And what face amount is, how much insurance do you actually have? Because most employers, they only offer anywhere from 1 to 2 times your salary. So if you're somebody who's making $50,000 a year, they may offer you 50 grand in life insurance, maybe $100,000. But now the question is, if you had $100,000, if you were to pass away, would your family still be able to sustain for the next 10 years? So you may have kids that are grade school age. They may be 5 years old. And what you gotta think about is 2 times my salary. Is that gonna get them to 18? Is that still gonna get them school clothes? Is this gonna pay off the house that we're living in? Is my spouse gonna have enough money to sustain and keep the household intact? And for most people, no, that's not enough money. That's why we recommend having a personal life insurance policy so that you can make sure that you have adequate amounts of coverage in the event of an emergency, sickness, anything. Your family will always be taken care of in your presence or in your absence. Now, if this makes sense to you and you're torn in between should you get more coverage, think about the 7 factors. 1, underwriting, how easy it is gonna be for me to get another policy. Number 2 is premium. That comes from your check through your employer. But are you in a serious situation where you can afford it in your budget to actually pay a little bit extra to have additional coverage? Number 3, coverage. Do you plan on dying on your job? Most people say no. And if that's the case, you might wanna have something outside of that, just in case whenever you switch jobs or you retire, you're always covered. Number 4, best price. We covered it earlier. You're as young and as healthy as you'll ever be. So if you're in a situation where you can budget for it, you might want to get an individual life insurance now instead of trying to qualify 10, 15, 20 years later down the road. Number 5 is portability. The coverage typically doesn't travel with you. So every time you switch a job, every time you switch employers, you're no longer insured. You may want to look into it so that you don't have to worry about ever being uninsured for any situation. Number 6 are the options and the features. Life insurance is customizable. So by getting your own personal policy, you know that you're paying for something that you actually want and that could be a benefit to you. And the last thing is this is face amount. Guys, we want to make sure that you're accurately covered. And the only way that you can do that is by having insurance outside of your employer. Hopefully you found value in this video. Now, if you want to know if you're properly covered, if you have the right face amount, do me a favor, watch this video that I have entitled Dime. It's going to explain to you how much life insurance that you need for yourself personally. Number 2, if you have questions, click the link below, book a free call with us. We'd love to talk about how we can put this in place for you and your family. Lastly, if you love this video and you think other people could benefit from it, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like it, but also share with one other person that you know who's probably dealing with the same situation and wondering, should they get more coverage? With that being said, at Chosen Agency, we always say this, many are called, but you were chosen, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Take care.